Welcome to our 200th episode. Thanks for listening to our podcast brought to you by SDC International Shipping, where we turn life-changing decisions into calm, confident moves. Today, we're talking a story about one American family, a shared dream, and the plan that carried them across the Pacific. The Ramirezes were classic someday people. Every New Year's Eve, they'd open a notebook and write, "Move to Australia." And then they'd close the notebook and get on with life. School, soccer, late-night emails. Last January, their daughter, Mia, drew a little kangaroo in the margin and said, "Can we do it this year?" They decided yes. They called SDC, not a hotline, a person. They had a coordinator, Jaya. She asked 2 questions. 1, why Australia? And 2, what would a perfect first week feel like? The answers to those 2 questions shaped everything. Here's the plan. Together, they built a simple roadmap. First, timeline. They worked backwards from school terms in Brisbane. Then they had a mode mix, essentials by air, furniture and bulk by sea. And then packing. Expert-grade packing services were used, so fragile items and the kids' keepsakes were crated right. They had a plan for customs. They prepped Australian custom forms and made sure they had a squeaky clean inventory so they could breeze biosecurity. And they had protection. They added moving insurance for peace of mind. There was some flexibility. They used secure storage to bridge the gap between keys and container. Jaya turned their vague someday into dated, doable steps. Flights, pickup, port, clearance, delivery, beds built, and lunch boxes ready. And then there was the goodbye. The week of packing, they were nervous. SDC's crew walked the home room by room, tagging what flew and what sailed. The garage gear got the biosecurity spa treatment. Boots were scrubbed. Bikes were wiped. Camping pegs were cleaned. The heirloom cedar chest was inspected, sealed, and documented. A last pizza on the floor. A box labeled open first. Kettle, mugs, favorite tea crayons, and the bedtime storybook with a torn corner. The doors were closed, the container sealed, and photos sent. Next stop, Brisbane. And then came the arrival. Their airbox landed first. School uniforms, work laptops, chargers, that storybook, and the first week felt human. It didn't feel like camping. Meanwhile, their sea shipment reached the bonded warehouse. Customs pinged a question about a wooden toy, but because the inventory was crisp, declared, cleaned, and crated, Jada replied with a photo and line item, and it was cleared. On delivery day, the truck rolled up. The crew set up beds, then the dining table, the kids' bookshelf, and a little desk under the window. Maya taped her kangaroo drawing to the fridge. That night, the house smelled like cardboard and a new beginning. The kettle clicked off. Outside, the neighborhood folded into a soft, early dark. Mr. Ramirez whispered, "Do you hear that?" It was silence. It was space. The kind you notice when the logistics finally let go of your shoulders. They opened, mugs came out, storybooks for the children, a familiar voice in a brand new country. And just like that, Australia wasn't a plan anymore. It was home. So what made it work? Not luck. It was a process. A clear, itemized moving plan, honest budget and expectations, professional packing and compliant paperwork, staged shipping, and one dedicated container. If this is your year, make your someday a date on the calendar. Get a quote and give us a call at 877-856-7050.